Welcome back to the Beyond the Stride podcast. I am your host, Will Loja, and today's guest is someone you may have seen pop up as the Big Ten Athlete of the Week, not once, but twice already this season. He's leading the charge right now for the Michigan State Spartans, and we've got a really special episode lined up today. I'm talking about the one and only Riley Hough. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
You've had a pretty awesome start to the season. I know it's only 2 races, but a win on your home course to start the season, that's got to feel pretty great. So what did that first meet mean to you and the team?
Um, this year I felt like it means a lot more than most other years, being that we are going to be hosting Big Tens at our course this year, and then we also have regionals next year. So we had a couple more teams out there this year, and um, it's fun to race on our own course with some more like competitive teams. And we're just getting started.
Yeah. Um, so obviously you get that experience with a race on that course, but also I'm curious, do you guys train on the course a lot? Do you do some of your workouts there?
Sadly, we do not. Um, being that it's a golf course, basically have to, I wouldn't say rent it out, but like we have to ask permission to use it. And most times when there's not a meet there, there's usually golfers out doing their thing. So it's best to stay away from that and not get any stray balls.
Right. Well, all the more important then to get out there for that first meet of the year, get that experience. Were you able to kind of envision Big Tens while you were out there, kind of like feeling it out and, kind of setting that tone?
Yeah, a little bit. I feel like the way that I ran it was very similar to how I run a lot of my races, where I kind of just sit back for a little bit and then just kind of move my way up. So in a way, I was able to kind of envision that a little bit, so that way I could better perform it in Big Tens.
Yeah. Do you think that, there's kind of like a sense of a home field advantage or just even a sense on the team of like you guys want to defend home turf now that you're hosting it?
Definitely. Yeah. I feel like a lot of the guys are very stoked to have it here, and I feel like that we just, I wouldn't say have more pressure, but just feel more hyped about having it here. Being that it's a lot easier for us to get to the course and everything, and then home course advantage, like we know the ins and outs of this course really well. Well, for the most part, we just changed it this year, so it's slightly different, but the majority of it is still the same as years previous.
Okay, really cool. Obviously, as an individual for Michigan State, you're going to be trying to be the lowest stick possible you can be for your team at conferences. But is your goal kind of going in at this point, lining up, are you competing for the win?
Um, there are a lot of good guys in this new Big Ten, so I wouldn't say it's out of contention, but I definitely right now I think my goals are more closer to top 5 rather than top 10, or sorry, top 1. Um, but I definitely could see a possibility of that happening if all things go like in my favor.
I like that. I like that a lot. You won that opening meet, so that's a great way to kind of
Yeah.
set the tone. And then, you followed that up with a great eighth place finish at Gans Creek, and that was a massive PR, 22:50 for the
Yeah.
8K, and that's the course where NCAA's is going to be held. So, could you take me through that meet for you?
Yeah, no, that race was probably one of the best races I've ever had in my collegiate career so far. Um, and like the course was it was amazing in general, honestly. Like there are a few rough or muddy spots, but other than that, like it was pretty pristine. The competition there, even though it was just like, Gaines Creek in general is a very competitive meet. Um, so just being able to go out there and compete against some of the bigger teams out there in the nation was just really fun. and being able to see where I am fitness wise compared to some of the best guys in the nation is also just amazing.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to imagine a better start to your season. Obviously, it's only, 2 September races, but like you said,
Right.
some big performances. That's exactly what you want to get out of it. Um, I'm curious, what's kind of your feeling towards racing those early races? Because not everybody does it, but when you're able to get experience on not only your conference course, but also the national course, it feels like that's a win-win.
Yeah. So I'm definitely enjoy racing a lot. So I do like racing earlier in the season than maybe some other people do. I do see the benefit where you do sit back a little bit and just not like do those earlier races as you can get more training in and more of those harder workouts in and not have to break it up between races. But I also see these early races as a way to kind of tell where you're kind of at as well as just like being able to hone in your racing skills like so that way you can figure out what you might struggle with this season or like if anything's bugging you in your body you can kind of figure that out very early on and get that ready for championship season.
Yeah, and Gaines Creek went out pretty fast from what I remember, right? It was out.
Yeah, it I think the first mile was in the 420s if not faster.
Wow. So
So it was a very fast start.
it's
But honestly, I've had so many races so far so far in my career that have started out like that. I'm just kind of used to it now.
yeah, and obviously that's great experience because we all know how those championship races, especially at nationals, go.
Oh yeah,
Um,
they're always so fast.
yeah. So now you've had a couple weeks. I think next up for you is Nuttycombe, right?
Yes, it is.
So in these weeks in between this kind of training block, how's that been looking for you?
Um, it's been a lot of kind of volume work, a lot of double thresholds, couple VO2 workouts here and there, but it's all just kind of like getting the steps set up for what's to come.
And I correct me if I'm wrong, but day we're recording this right now, it's a double threshold day, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I already did my AM session.
Did the morning one, still got the afternoon. Okay, cool. Very
Yep.
cool. That's awesome. Everything went well this morning?
Oh yeah, it went amazing. And nice cool weather kept it perfect.
That's awesome. Yeah, fall is definitely here.
Mhm.
So Nuttycombe coming up, of course, that's another big time meet. I'm guessing the last time you were there was NCAA's for cross last season. And that's something everybody wants to talk about. Everybody's making their predictions on which individuals are going to be up there and, which teams are going to be a factor. But I
Yep.
want to hear from you. You finished 80th for as an individual at NCAA cross last season. Uh, what did you learn from that, and what are the goals for this year?
Um, I feel like for I learned a lot about how different it is to race at nationals compared to a lot of other meets. Like first of all, it's a 10K, so it's a little longer than any other normal meet or than regionals. But then also the way that a lot of people race is very different as they're kind of it's their last meet, so they're wanting to make a show out of it. Um, and it's the way that it's done. I mean, we talked about it a little earlier. Starts out very fast. Like it's probably one of the faster starts of the season, and it's 2K longer. So you kind of have to like manage that stress a little bit more and figure out how to get yourself in a good spot and just keep moving up forward.
That's great. Great perspective. Yeah. I mean, and you seem like a guy who, could benefit from that extra 2K maybe. You like the longer stuff is what I'm gathering. So,
Oh yeah. I feel like that extra 2K really ties into my strengths a little bit more.
cool. Yeah. So last year you were representing Michigan State as an individual there. And of course, you would have enjoyed it a little more even, if you got to have your team there with you. Has that been a big motivator for you and the team this season?
Oh, 100%. Because the last 2 years, actually, we have been out by one spot. and this past year we got out because of a tiebreaker. So I feel like this year it is really in our minds that like, hey, we can't let that happen again. Let's just go out there, see what we can do. We're doing a lot better this year than we have in years past training wise. So I'm very excited to see how that goes.
Yeah. And I know one thing that I'm not sure everybody knows a whole lot about, but you had a stress reaction last summer, correct? Coming into the fall.
Yes,
So,
I did.
so now this year you had a healthy summer, I'm assuming, and
Mhm.
that training's been a little more consistent. Do you feel like that's kind of an advantage, not only physically but mentally for you?
Oh, 100%. Because last year I was pretty much the entire season going up into championship season, I was just trying to get my volume back up to where I should be. So having that volume already built before the season like even starts is a huge advantage compared to last year. And I feel 100% better with everything that I'm doing, whether it's workouts, races, or even just normal runs. Like everything just feels 100 times better.
That's great to hear. I mean, it's almost all the more impressive what you did last season with a truncated timeline like you had, and it kind of makes it even more exciting to see what you're going to be able to do here with a more consistent base, like you said, and higher volume earlier in the season.
Yeah.
Um, what kind of things have you been doing this season to stay healthy and avoid injury?
I feel like a lot of it for me is just checking in with my trainers more often. Um, s- the year before I had that stress reaction, I would only go in occasionally, like if I felt something serious. But after that stress reaction, I realized, okay, hey, I can actually just go and talk to them at any point in time, whether it's just a little tightness or something, just keep everything in check. And then so I've been doing that a lot. Doesn't matter what it is. I'll go and get it checked. I'll make sure to roll, stretch, everything that like, you need to do normally. And then also eating is a big part because as someone who's doing 90, 95 miles a week, it's hard to get the calories in. It can be very hard to get enough calories in. So just keeping up with my eating is helps a lot as well, making sure that I have enough energy to keep going.
Absolutely, especially when you've got double threshold sessions like today. Like
Yeah.
that's got to be really important. Well, it's definitely great to see that you've been able to stay more healthy now, and as they say, the best ability is availability. So we're
Hmm.
glad to see you available right now. Um, and I saw you guys had a team training camp this summer. I think it was Lake Michigan. How was that
Yes.
experience?
Um, that experience is just fun in general. Like we're just out there pretty much in the middle of nowhere at like a random camp. It's Camp Leelanau. But we're just out there just kind of trying trying to get to know the new freshmen and everything, and then also just we're getting back from summer where all of us kind of go our separate ways for the most part. So we always have fun being back with each other. And then when it comes to training, like we're not doing anything crazy extensive because I mean it's the start of the year. So we're just kind of out there feeling things out and just kind of seeing where we are to start the season out so that way we can prep for the rest of the season.
Yeah, and definitely great for the team culture, that kind of thing. I'd
Yeah.
love to hear about Riley Ho, the teammate, Riley Ho, the leader, because obviously your results speak for themselves, but I get the sense that you'd be a phenomenal guy to be around, teammates. So I'm curious about what you feel like your role on the team is right now.
See, I try and be the person that like they can come to and talk to about stuff because I feel like I do know a fair amount when it comes to like injuries and stuff, being that I've been through a lot of injuries in my past. And then also, um, my dad is a paramedic, so he knows a lot about the body as well. And he has helped me figure some things out as well, keep myself healthy. And then also I'm just, I just like to keep the team very upbeat. I'm always like positive outlook trying to like make sure that we have like a positive mindset to whatever we're doing. Even if we're not feeling great, there's always something that you can kind of look forward to.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And yeah, you're definitely a guy that I'm sure people on your team are looking up to, people around the NCAA are looking up to. You've kind of been knocking on that door of the top level of the NCAA for a while. And as you said, some injuries here and there. We've all kind of known you're right there. But do you feel like you're feeling this season is kind of the season where you're officially arriving as this kind of undeniable top runner in the NCAA?
Um, I would think so, yeah. I feel like that, like you said, I've been knocking on the door. It's like I've been right there. It's just there's always been something small just holding me back. Um, but now I feel like now that I've actually been able to be healthy for over a year now and like getting some more volume than I have in the past, I feel like I can be in contention for some of the top people in the NCAA.
Yeah. And when you go out there, in these races, do you feel like there's a sense of like you've been waiting to do this, like you've been ready and held back, or like ready and hurt and ready, and now you get to do it, and like you feel like
Mhm.
that's kind of almost like an edge that you have?
I would say it, yeah, because um some of these people that might have already been in the um top 40, top 30, it's already kind of expected for them. For me, it's like I'm coming in and I'm like I almost feel almost more excited than maybe they might feel about it. So, and I feel like that excitement kind of gives me a slight edge in like what we're doing.
Absolutely. So I'm curious, what are your biggest goals for this season and even rest of the time you have in the NCAA, whether it's cross country, track? What are the things you're set on chasing?
Mm. Right now, I haven't really thought of anything in track yet, but like for cross, um, I would definitely I haven't had an exact placement, but like I my goal is definitely to be all American. Like that is something that I very much feel like I could possibly do this year, especially with how it went in Gaines Creek. I feel like I can definitely be up there. And then also um just not even just myself trying to get the team into nationals, like because like I said earlier, like that's we've been right there that entire time. We are very eager to get in and prove ourselves, and also Big Tens wise, like I said, like hopefully top five.
Absolutely. So, you talk about the team being really, determined this year, having been so close. Was there kind of a team goal setting meeting where you guys like, and you don't have to give away like all your, insider secrets, but like, did you kind of set that goal like, we're doing this year, guys?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, every year during camp, we always like try and set some team goals. Coach kind of like talks about what he thinks we're capable of, and then we kind of like chip in with like either our personal goals or what we think our team can do. And I definitely think um that those goals, like all of our goals, align with trying to make it.
Absolutely. Well, there's definitely a lot of excitement for Michigan State and the Spartans there. Final thoughts on where you're at this season. It's mid-October. You've got the
Mm.
first two invites out of the way. You're going on. You've got conferences. You've got NCAA's in the future. Like, what's the mindset right now for Riley and the Spartans?
Um, I would say I'm just very eager for this year just because I feel like we're in a very good spot. Um, I mean, as I've said before, it's just like there's a lot going on this year that I feel like is in our favor between like the higher volume that we've been doing and like for me personally just like the fact that I haven't been injured in over a year. Um so I would say that I'm just very hyped about like what's to come.
Well said. Well said. That's a great wrap up. I love it. Well, Riley, thanks so much for taking the time to join us today and sharing such great insight. I know a lot of our listeners are going to have really enjoyed this episode and getting to hear from one of the most exciting runners in the NCAA right now. So
Yeah, I
for
appreciate
everyone,
you having me.
yeah, absolutely. For everyone listening, still who stuck around, feel free to like the episode, share it around with your friends, and most importantly, watch out for Riley and the Spartans on the cross country course. Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody, and thanks again, Riley, for coming on.
Thank you.